On the 19th of September 2010, although I could see from the peripheral, I could not see from my centre vision and was recorded as blind. I also suffered from 6 incurable illnesses, and on the day that Pope Benedict blessed Cardinal John Henry Newman at Birmingham, as I was going to the toilet to have a shower, I heard a voice from the television say, "He is handing the child up to the Pope." And suddenly I turned to the television. Although I suffered from spondylitis, which meant my neck was stiff, I turned it quite easily and could see the program where Pope Benedict was blessing Cardinal Newman, and I saw him hand the child back. I also listened to Father Driffield, who was a historian for Cardinal Newman, and he said that Cardinal Newman was an Anglican priest who had changed to Catholicism and started his first church in a little village called Littlemore in Oxfordshire. That was the little village where I was cured of alcoholism, a suspected liver disease, and psoriasis, which I had suffered from since childhood. I went to the bathroom later and to have a shower, and after the shower, whilst drying myself, an amazing feeling came over the whole of my body, and I tried drying my back again to see if it would happen again, but it didn't. But during the course of that day, the pain from Paget's disease, which was a crumbling of the hip bones, stopped. There was no pain from it. I could walk freely, where I used to only be able to walk about 50 yards before resting. And as the day went on, the hemorrhoids seemed to go internal together with a polyp. And when I went to the doctor, I asked him to examine me with the things he could see. He couldn't see the heart, of course, and the problems I had there. And when he checked the spondylitis and the hemorrhoids and listened to my breathing, which was very bad prior to the healing, he said, "It will all come back. Keep taking the tablets." Well, as regards the breathing, I had tests regular in the surgery for my breathing, where I blew 68%, which was under the normal breathing rate. After the healings, I was called for another test, and the nurse was amazed when she told me that I had blown 94%. And if you listen to my songs on YouTube, you will see there is no longer any emphysema there, because I always had a dry cough with it. And after about a month, I decided to stop all medication and handed my tablets back to the chemist and told him not to order any more. I also told the doctor I was stopping tablets. He also wrote me a letter a few years later saying I had never taken any tablets since that time. But I have all the proofs regarding the breathing, regarding all my illnesses that I suffered from. And I sent those to the newspapers, some daily newspapers. An Irish reporter recommended I should do that. She said she had read my book and listened to my songs on YouTube, and she thought they were very good and that I should contact the daily newspapers in England. However, I did send proofs of my illnesses, etc., and wrote a long story of what had happened and what was still happening, and got no response. I also spoke to a representative of the ITN television series who told me they would do my story up north. That was a few years ago. I'm still waiting for the story to be told. And at a point after these healings, I remembered the name of the priest who gave the history of John Henry Newman. And so I made a point of going to the oratory in Birmingham and telling him of my healings and things that were happening to me since that time. Father Driffield asked me if I associated my healings with Cardinal John Henry Newman. And I said, it is strange that he had that church in the same village where I was cured of alcoholism, suspected liver disease, and psoriasis, which I had suffered from since childhood. It was known to be a lifelong illness. I never have any spots even now. And never, since that time, I've never had been bothered with psoriasis. And then the day that Pope Benedict blessed Cardinal John Henry Newman, all the illnesses I was suffering from then just seemed to disappear. And since that time, September the 19th, 2010, I haven't taken medication except for one occasion where I took antibiotics, which a one-off 7-day thing. And I would take antibiotics at any time because I believe that they are one of the best medications that has ever been put forward. A Scottish scientist, I believe, discovered that mouldy cheese could heal, and they have done over the years, although I hear now that they are not so good as they were. However, only recently you may see on one of my videos that I had a bladder drained and I wouldn't take the drug, and was told if I didn't take the drug I couldn't have appointments. And I am now 2 months clear. I was told I would have to keep the catheter on for the rest of my life because of the bad entries into the bladder which had created wounds. But I'm 2 months clear now because I used spiritual healing once more, and there is no problem from my bladder or backside or anywhere else. No sign of blood anywhere, which there was at the time I had the catheter put on. And so when Father Driffield heard all I had to say, he said, "You have had a gift from God. Go home and pray." The reason I published myself on YouTube is because I feel that the people should know that there is a God and that God cares for them as He has cared for me. So please pray to God, and maybe things will happen for you. I hope so. But in this planet today, things are going crazy, making bombs that can destroy this and that, countries fighting against each other when they should be at peace with each other. And what is it all about? Money, money. The old saying, money is the root of all evil, is a very true one. So please believe that God cares for you. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all.